All right, so are you ready to dive into this?
Always.
Okay, good, because we are tackling the news that has, like, everyone buzzing The Sims.
Oh, yeah.
It's getting a movie.
This is big.
It is big. I mean, those late-night virtual rabbit holes,
Totally.
building dream homes, orchestrating the drama, chuckling at the, like, utter randomness of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's hitting the big screen.
I can't wait.
But the question is, can they actually pull this off?
Right.
Turning a game
Right.
that's all about your choices, your storylines, into a movie.
Right.
And I've got some fascinating insights based on this YouTube video.
Okay.
Kind of breaking down the announcement.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to be surprised.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, so the challenge here is unlike any other game-to-movie adaptation.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, we're not talking about, like, a hero's journey or a set storyline like, Super Mario Bros. Or something.
Yeah, right.
The Sims is all about the stories we create.
Okay.
It's a sandbox.
Yeah.
A life simulator where the narrative is entirely in the player's hands.
Okay, so it's like someone handed Hollywood a giant box of Legos and said, okay, make a blockbuster, but there are no instructions.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes it so fascinating,
Yeah.
How do you translate that open-endedness, that player freedom into a compelling 2-hour film?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Think about it. Like, most game movies struggle to just cram in all the lore and the plot points.
Right.
Here, they have almost too much freedom.
Too much freedom.
Yeah.
So what are they thinking?
I know.
So the source mentions Margot Robbie's production company.
Okay.
And the director of Loki, Kate Herron.
All right.
Does this scream wacky, surreal comedy to you?
Oh, possibly.
I mean, they did wonders with Barbie, right?
They did, yeah.
Taking something seemingly shallow and finding real depth and humor.
Yeah.
So could they pull off the same trick with The Sims?
It's a good question.
What do you think?
It's a good question. I think that's one direction they could take, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leaning into the inherent absurdity of The Sims.
Yeah.
The unexpected moments, the over-the-top emotions.
Yeah.
But then there's the challenge of balancing that humor with the heart of the game, right?
Oh, okay.
Like, The Sims, at its core, is also about relationships, aspirations, and those relatable everyday struggles.
Yeah.
Albeit,
Right.
amplified for comedic effect. Like, remember all those times
Yeah.
your Sim set the kitchen on fire just trying to make toast?
Yes, of course. Constantly.
We laugh, but there's a kernel of truth in those moments.
Oh, absolutely. Or how about, like, getting your heart broken by a pixelated Sim?
Oh, yeah.
The ones you meticulously crafted with just the right personality traits.
Yeah.
It's silly, but those virtual relationships can be surprisingly impactful.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah. So how do you translate that to a passive audience?
Yeah, that's the other big hurdle I think this movie faces, like the interactivity problem.
Right.
For decades, we've been in control of the Sims' lives.
We've micromanaged every move.
Yeah.
Their career paths, their love lives.
Everything. So to suddenly...
To just sit back and just watch their story unfold.
Yeah, it might feel a bit off.
A little bit off. Right? Imagine watching your Sim make terrible life choices on the big screen.
I know.
And not being able to yell at them to stop.
Right.
Like, no. Sim Sally, don't go back to that cheating vampire. He's just going to break your heart again.
Exactly.
It's like
watching a train wreck.
Yes.
In slow motion.
And you can't do anything.
Yeah. So I think that's where the filmmakers have a real opportunity to get creative.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to replicate the gameplay directly, they could embrace that inherent unpredictability. Perhaps multiple endings.
Ooh, multiple endings?
Or interactive elements.
Oh, okay.
Or even leaning into the chaotic, anything can happen.
Okay, so
Sims World.
Multiple endings, so that's an idea.
Right.
Like a choose-your-own-adventure. But for the big screen, I mean, it definitely keep people talking and debating.
For sure.
About their favorite outcomes.
Yeah.
Has anything like that been done before in a game adaptation?
Not that I can recall. Yeah. At least not on a major scale.
Okay.
But that's what's so exciting about this project.
Okay.
It has the potential to break new ground, to experiment with storytelling in a way that truly reflects the spirit of The Sims.
Okay, you've got me intrigued. So if they do go this unconventional route, how do they keep things grounded and relatable?
Right.
The source kind of suggests this small film approach.
Okay.
Focusing on the smaller personal stories that make The Sims resonate.
Exactly. Think about it. The Sims isn't about saving the world.
Yeah.
Or battling epic villains.
Right.
It's about those relatable everyday moments, magnified and made hilarious.
Okay.
It's about those awkward first dates, the struggles to pay bills, the chaos of trying to juggle work and family while a raccoon's trying to break into your kitchen.
Oh, the raccoons, those pesky little critters, always a menace. I remember one time my Sim...
Oh, no! Got chased up a tree or something.
Way worse.
Oh, no!
It was so much worse.
Okay.
But it sounds like you've had...
I have.
Your fair share of Sims shenanigans.
Lots.
But that's the point, right?
Yeah.
We all have those stories.
Yeah.
Those moments that make us laugh, cringe, or shake our heads in disbelief.
Totally, yeah.
Those shared experiences.
Right.
Those relatable slices of simulated life.
Yeah.
That the movie could really tap into.
I hope so.
So I'm picturing a montage.
Oh, yeah.
First date gone wrong.
Yeah.
Because someone forgot to take out the trash. A Sim getting stuck in the bathroom with no door.
Oh, classic.
A disastrous attempt at baking a birthday cake resulting in a kitchen fire.
Yep.
Just
classic.
Classic Sims chaos.
Sims chaos.
But within those seemingly mundane moments, there's like a layer of social commentary.
There is.
I mean, The Sims, right?
Yeah.
Holds a mirror up to our own lives.
Yeah.
Highlighting the absurdity of it all. The social awkwardness.
Yeah.
The unexpected disasters.
A never-ending to-do list.
The never-ending to-do list.
Yes, it's satire disguised as a life simulator.
It really is. So which makes me wonder, could they actually pull off a small film?
Oh, that's a good question.
With like a limited budget?
Yeah.
And still capture that essence?
Yeah.
Or does this need to be a big, splashy blockbuster to really do it justice? I mean, The Sims is a global phenomenon.
No, I know.
So
I think, honestly, either approach could work.
Yep.
Like a smaller film focusing on those intimate, character-driven stories could have like a real indie charm.
Okay.
Think like Napoleon Dynamite, but with more Simlish and wacky hijinks.
Oh, I'm digging that vibe.
Yeah.
It would definitely set it apart from those typical CGI-heavy video game adaptations that we've seen.
Yeah.
But part of me also wants to see the world of The Sims like fully realized on the big screen.
Yeah.
The sprawling neighborhoods, the elaborate parties, maybe even some cameos from like iconic Sims characters.
Yeah.
Like Bella Goth.
Oh, yeah.
Or the Caliente sisters.
Right. I mean, and that's where the blockbuster approach could shine.
Okay.
Imagine a visually stunning world. Packed with Easter eggs for like longtime fans. A soundtrack featuring like some of the biggest pop stars.
Okay, now you're speaking my language.
Just like the game itself.
I can already hear the Simlish remixes.
Oh, yeah.
Blasting in the theaters. But let's not forget, this movie needs to appeal to more than just the diehard fans.
Yeah, that's true.
It has to grab the attention of those who have never played the game.
Yeah.
Who might be wondering, like, what all the hype is about.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's where the nostalgia factor comes in.
Okay.
For millennials and Gen Z, The Sims is more than just a game.
Oh, for sure.
It's a cultural touchstone.
It really is.
It's those memories of building our first virtual homes, creating our Sim alter egos, experiencing those hilarious in-game moments that connect us.
Oh, the memories. I still remember spending hours trying to build the most elaborate mansion.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Complete with a pool, a bowling alley, and a secret underground lair.
Of course. Of course.
And let's not forget those iconic expansion packs.
Oh, the expansion packs.
Pets. Supernatural, Fame.
Oh, good.
Each one brought like a whole new layer of chaos and creativity.
Absolutely.
To the game.
Exactly. And I think those expansion packs could be a goldmine for the filmmakers.
Okay.
Imagine a storyline that incorporates elements from like Get Famous.
Okay.
Where a Sim is trying to navigate the ups and downs of Hollywood, all while dealing with those everyday struggles.
Right.
Like keeping their house clean and their relationships intact.
Oh, the drama. Paparazzi chasing your Sim down the street.
Yeah.
Jealous rivals, sabotaging their performances, all while their toilet's overflowing back at home.
Yes.
It's the perfect blend of Hollywood glitz and relatable Sims chaos.
It's true. And you know what? It taps into that universal desire for fame and fortune.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Which is something that resonates with audiences regardless of whether they've played the game or not.
Yeah, you're right.
But of course, the key is going to be finding that balance.
Right.
How do you appeal to the nostalgia of longtime fans
while
also creating something fresh and engaging for newcomers?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question.
It is.
It's a tightrope walk, for sure.
Yeah.
But I have to say, the more we dive into this, the more optimistic I'm becoming.
Okay.
The Sims movie has the potential to be something truly special.
I agree.
Right,
it's a risky venture, no doubt. But it's also a chance to break new ground, to experiment with storytelling, and to capture the essence of what makes The Sims such a beloved and enduring phenomenon.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe it'll even inspire
a
whole new generation of players to discover the joys of building, creating, and just letting their imaginations run wild.
Totally.
In the world of The Sims.
Speaking of letting imaginations run wild, the source touched on something that I think is crucial to the success of this movie.
Okay.
The importance of reflecting the stories we created.
You mean those unique, often absurd, always entertaining narratives that unfold organically through gameplay?
Precisely. Like The Sims is at its heart.
A
reflection of the players themselves.
Yeah.
It's about the choices we make, the stories we tell, and the lives we create within that pixelated world.
Right. So for the movie to truly succeed, it needs to capture that sense of personal connection.
It does.
That feeling that we're seeing our own Simlish-infused stories reflected back at us.
For sure.
So the question is, how do you do that?
I know, right?
How do you translate the personal player-driven narratives of millions of individual gamers into a cohesive and compelling film? It's almost like trying to bottle lightning.
It is a monumental task.
It is.
But perhaps the answer lies in finding those universal truths. You know, those shared experiences that transcend individual gameplay? Think about those moments that every Sims player has encountered. The awkward first dates, the disastrous attempts at cooking,
of course,
the frustrations of trying to build the perfect home while staying within budget.
Right.
Those are the relatable human moments that connect us all, regardless of how we choose to play the game.
It's about finding those kernels of truth. Those little slices of everyday life that we all recognize. And then amplifying them, twisting them, and injecting them with that...
that signature
Sims humor.
Sims humor.
Exactly. So what does this mean for like the actual storyline of the movie? Are we talking about like a traditional 3-act structure with a clear beginning, middle, and end? Or are we venturing into uncharted territory, embracing the unpredictable nature of the game itself?
That's where things get really interesting. Because The Sims, by its very nature, defies traditional storytelling conventions.
Okay.
There is no set hero's journey, no predetermined villain, no ultimate goal to achieve. The narrative is fluid, dynamic, and entirely dependent on the player's choices. So how do you translate that to the big screen?
It's like trying to capture the essence of a dream, isn't it? Those fleeting, often nonsensical, yet strangely meaningful narratives that play out in our subconscious.
That's a brilliant analogy. I think it might be the key to unlocking the potential of a Sims movie. Perhaps the film needs to embrace that dreamlike quality. That sense of the absurd and the unexpected.
So are we talking about a series of interconnected vignettes?
Oh, maybe.
A kaleidoscope of Sims experiences, each capturing those relatable yet outlandish moments that make the game so unique.
That's certainly one possibility.
Okay.
Imagine a montage of scenes. A Sim struggling to assemble furniture from a flat pack.
Been there.
A disastrous attempt at a romantic dinner. A chaotic family gathering where everything that can go wrong does go wrong. Each vignette could be like a self-contained story. But woven together, they create like a tapestry of what it means to live a simulated life.
It's almost like those Sims Fails compilations that like went viral online.
Exactly.
Except instead of like user-generated content, we're getting like a polished cinematic version.
Exactly.
Crafted by Hollywood professionals.
But with a layer of depth and heart.
That
those viral videos often lack. It's about finding the humor in the mundane, the pathos in the absurd, and the humanity in those pixelated characters we've all come to know and love.
And let's not forget the music.
Oh, the music, yes.
The Sims has always had such an iconic soundtrack, from those catchy Simlish tunes to the licensed pop hits that play on the radio.
Totally.
Can you imagine a Sims movie without a killer soundtrack?
Absolutely not.
No.
Like, the music is integral to the atmosphere,
right?
The emotional beats,
yeah,
and like the overall vibe of the game.
Right.
And the movie needs to reflect that. Imagine a soundtrack that blends those classic Simlish themes with like contemporary pop hits.
Okay.
Creating a soundscape that's both familiar and fresh.
Okay, I'm already picturing a scene.
Oh, yeah.
Where a Sim is trying to woo their love interest with like a serenade, but instead of like a smooth ballad, they're awkwardly belting out a Simlish rendition of a top 40 hit.
That's great.
Oh, the cringe factor would be off the charts.
I know, and that's the beauty of The Sims.
Yeah.
It's a world where the mundane and the extraordinary collide.
Right.
Where the relatable and the absurd exist side by side.
Yeah.
And the movie needs to capture that duality. That sense of heightened reality that makes the game so addictive and engaging.
It's like holding up a funhouse mirror to our own lives, distorting and exaggerating certain elements while still reflecting a core truth about the human experience.
And that's where the true challenge lies for the filmmakers.
Okay.
How do you create a film that's both a faithful adaptation of the game and like a standalone piece of entertainment that appeals to a wider audience?
Right.
How do you balance the expectations of diehard fans with the need to introduce the world of The Sims to those who've never played?
That's a delicate balancing act.
It is.
For sure.
Yeah.
But the more we delved into this, the more confident I am that they can pull it off.
Okay.
I think The Sims has all the ingredients for a truly unique, unforgettable cinematic experience.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of finding the right recipe.
And that's where the creative vision of the filmmakers comes in. Right, okay.
They need to take all these elements, the humor, the heart, the absurdity, the relatable moments, the iconic music, the player-driven narratives, and blend them together in a way that feels both authentic to the game and fresh for the big screen.
Yeah, it's a tall order.
It is.
No doubt.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that they're up to the challenge.
Okay.
And you know what? I think you are too.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
Because you, the listener, are a part of this story too.
Okay.
The Sims is a game about creativity, about self-expression, about building the world you want to see. And I think the movie has the potential to tap into that same spirit.
I like where you're going with this.
Yeah.
You're suggesting that the movie can become an extension of the game itself.
Yeah.
A collaborative effort between the filmmakers and the audience.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's about taking those shared experiences.
Yeah.
Those relatable moments, those crazy stories.
That we've all created within the game.
Yeah.
And seeing them reflected back at us in like a new and exciting way.
So instead of passively watching a predetermined narrative, we're invited to engage with the film on a deeper level. To see our own Simlish-infused lives playing out on the big screen.
Precisely. It's about taking ownership of the story.
Okay.
Just like we do in the game.
Yeah.
And that's where things get really exciting.
Okay.
Because if the filmmakers can successfully tap into that collective creative energy, if they can capture the essence of what makes The Sims so unique and enduring, then this movie could be something truly groundbreaking.
I'm starting to see the potential here.
Yeah.
We're not just talking about a movie adaptation. We're talking about a cultural event, a celebration of everything that The Sims represents.
It's about community, about connection, about sharing those hilarious, heartwarming, often utterly bizarre moments that make us laugh, cry, and shake our heads in disbelief.
Yes, and it's about recognizing that The Sims, at its core, is a reflection of ourselves.
Yeah.
It's about our dreams, our aspirations, our fears, and our capacity for both joy and chaos.
Right, and isn't that what great storytelling is all about?
Exactly.
Finding those universal truths, those shared experiences that connect us all, regardless of our backgrounds.
Totally.
Or our individual gameplay styles.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And The Sims movie has the potential to do just that.
Okay.
It's a chance to see ourselves reflected in those pixelated characters, to laugh at our own foibles, to celebrate our shared humanity, and to be reminded that even in a simulated world, life can be pretty darn amazing.
Okay, I'm officially on board.
Okay, good.
I'm excited, I'm intrigued,
and
I'm ready to see what kind of magic they cook up on the big screen.
Me too, but before we get too carried away, there's one more crucial element we need to address.
Okay.
The nostalgia factor.
Yeah.
That warm fuzzy feeling
Yeah.
that washes over us when we think back.
Yeah.
To those countless hours spent lost in the world of The Sims.
The late-night building sessions.
Yeah.
The meticulously crafted Sim families.
Yeah.
The wacky storylines that unfolded organically through gameplay.
It's a powerful force, nostalgia.
It is.
And for many millennials and Gen Zers,
yeah.
The Sims is inextricably linked to their childhood.
Oh, yeah.
Their teenage years.
For sure.
Their formative experiences with gaming.
It's those memories of staying up late.
Yeah.
Building our dream homes, creating our Sim alter egos,
right,
and experiencing those hilarious in-game moments that make us smile and just shake our heads at our younger selves.
Right. And the movie needs to tap into that. It needs to acknowledge the cultural impact of The Sims, the way it shaped a generation of gamers, and the enduring appeal of those pixelated lives we created.
But how do you do that without alienating those who haven't experienced the game?
Yeah, how do you walk that tightrope between appealing to nostalgia and creating something fresh and accessible for a wider audience?
That's the challenge.
It is.
Right.
But I think the key lies in finding those universal truths, those relatable experiences that transcend individual gameplay.
Yeah.
Think about those moments that every Sims player has encountered.
Right.
The awkward first dates.
Yes.
The disastrous attempts at cooking.
It'll nurse.
The frustrations of trying to build the perfect home while staying within budget.
Yes.
Those are the relatable human moments that connect us all. Regardless of how we choose to play the game, it's about finding those kernels of truth, those little slices of everyday life that we all recognize, and then amplifying them, twisting them, injecting them with that signature Sims humor.
So what does this mean for the actual storyline of the movie?
Right.
Are we talking about a traditional 3-act structure?
Yeah.
With a clear beginning, middle, and end?
Yeah.
Or are we venturing into uncharted territory, embracing the unpredictable nature of the game itself?
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Because The Sims, by its very nature, defies traditional storytelling conventions.
Yeah.
There is no set hero's journey, no predetermined villain, no ultimate goal to achieve.
Right.
The narrative is fluid, dynamic, entirely dependent on the player's choices.
Right. So how do you translate that to the big screen?
I know, right? It's like
trying to capture the essence of a dream, right?
Yeah.
Those fleeting, often nonsensical yet strangely meaningful narratives that play out in our subconscious.
That's a brilliant analogy.
Yeah.
And I think it might be the key to unlocking the potential of a Says movie.
Okay.
Perhaps the film needs to embrace that dreamlike quality, that sense of the absurd and the unexpected.
So are we talking about a series of interconnected vignettes?
Oh, maybe.
Like a kaleidoscope of Sims experiences, each capturing those relatable yet outlandish moments that make the game so unique.
That's certainly one possibility.
Okay.
Imagine a montage of scenes.
Okay.
A Sim struggling to assemble furniture from a flat pack.
Yeah.
A disastrous attempt at a romantic dinner. A chaotic family gathering where everything that can go wrong does go wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Each vignette could be a self-contained story. But woven together, they create a tapestry of what it means to live a simulated life.
It's almost like those Sims Fails compilations that went viral online.
Yes.
Except instead of user-generated content, we're getting a polished cinematic version.
Yeah.
Crafted by Hollywood professionals.
Exactly, but with a layer of depth and heart that those viral videos often lack. It's about finding the humor in the mundane.
Yeah.
The pathos in the absurd, and the humanity.
Yeah.
In those pixelated characters we've all come to know and love.
You know, the more we talk about this, the more I realize that adapting The Sims for the big screen is less about recreating specific storylines and more about capturing a feeling.
Okay.
It's about that sense of playful creativity.
Yeah.
That freedom to experiment. That joy of watching chaos unfold in a safe virtual space.
Yeah, you're hitting on something crucial here.
Yeah.
It's about capturing the essence of the experience.
Sure.
The feeling of being immersed in that world. Having the power to shape and mold lives.
Yeah.
And of reveling in the unpredictable nature of it all.
And that brings me back to something we touched on earlier.
Yeah.
The
what?
The interactivity problem.
Oh, yeah.
How do you translate a game that's all about player choice and control into a passive viewing experience? How do you make the audience feel like they're a part of the story
Yeah.
when they're sitting in a darkened theater?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is. So,
and it's one
how do they do it?
That the filmmakers will need to address head on.
Okay.
But I think there are ways to bridge that gap.
Okay.
To create a sense of engagement and participation.
Yeah.
Even within the confines of a traditional cinematic format.
So how do they do it? Like, what are some potential approaches I could take to make this movie feel interactive?
Yeah.
To give the audience a sense of agency?
Well, one option could be to incorporate multiple storylines or branching narratives.
Okay.
Imagine a film that presents different scenarios or choices, allowing the audience to experience multiple outcomes or perspectives.
Ooh, I like that.
Right.
Kind of like those choose-your-own-adventure books.
Exactly.
We used to read as kids, but on a cinematic scale. So instead of a single linear plot, the audience gets to experience like a multitude of possibilities, just like in the game itself.
Exactly. And this approach could be further enhanced by incorporating interactive elements.
Okay.
Or even allowing for audience participation.
Now you're really talking.
In some way.
Like, imagine a scenario where the audience gets to vote on key decisions that impact the storyline, or where they can interact with the film using their phones or other devices.
It's a bold idea.
It is.
But it aligns perfectly with the spirit of The Sims.
Right.
Where player choice and customization are paramount.
Right.
And it would certainly create a buzz.
Oh, yeah.
And generate a lot of discussion.
Talking about breaking the fourth wall.
Among viewers.
Yeah, it'd be a game changer for the movie industry.
For sure.
But even if they don't go that far.
Right.
Even if they stick to a more traditional narrative structure.
Yeah.
I think there are still ways to make the audience feel involved.
The key is to create a sense of immersion.
Okay.
To draw the audience into the world of the film and make them feel like they're right there.
Right.
Alongside the characters.
So we're talking strong visuals.
Yes.
Compelling soundtrack. Relatable characters that the audience can connect with.
Exactly.
On an emotional level.
The filmmakers need to create a world that feels alive.
Quite.
That has its own unique personality and energy.
Yeah.
And they need to populate that world with characters that are more than just pixelated avatars.
Okay.
They need to be relatable, flawed, and funny individuals.
Right.
That we can empathize with and root for, even as they make terrible life choices.
Because let's face it, The Sims is all about those terrible life choices.
It is, it is.
It's about watching our Sims set their kitchens on fire, get stuck in bathrooms with no doors, and fall head over heels for the wrong Sim.
Right, and it's about laughing at those moments, cringing at those moments, and ultimately recognizing a bit of ourselves in those moments.
Right, because even though it's a simulated world, The Sims taps into something very real. About the human experience. It's about our desires. Our frustrations. Our capacity for both joy and chaos. It's kind of funny, we've been like dissecting this movie announcement. Analyzing all the challenges, debating the possibilities. But at the end of the day, isn't there a simple beauty in the unknown?
Oh, there is. Think about it. Like, so much of what we love about The Sims is that element of surprise.
Right.
Like that moment when your meticulously planned Sim wedding descends into chaos because someone decided to set the buffet table on fire.
Oh my gosh, yes. Or when like your Sim, who you thought was destined for greatness, ends up living in the dumpster because they spend all their money on a robotic vacuum cleaner.
Yes.
Okay, that last one might be a little too specific to my own gameplay. But you get the point. It's those unscripted moments. Those deviations from the plan that often make for the best stories.
Totally.
And I have a feeling that the Sims movie, if done right, will capture that same spirit.
I think you're right. And that brings me back to something the source emphasized.
Okay.
The idea that this movie doesn't need to be like a by-the-numbers adaptation.
Okay.
It has the freedom to be something truly unique. Something that reflects the spirit of the game without feeling beholden to its every detail.
So maybe instead of trying to cram in every expansion pack, every iconic character, they focus on telling like a smaller, more intimate story. That captures the heart of what makes The Sims so special.
Exactly. Imagine a film that focuses on a single Sim family.
Okay.
Their everyday struggles, their triumphs, the relationships. We see them navigate the ups and downs of work, love, and family life, all while dealing with those classic Sim squirks, the broken appliances, the awkward social interactions, the occasional existential crisis triggered by a poorly decorated living room.
I'm picturing a scene
Oh, yeah.
Where a sim is trying to have a romantic dinner with their significant other. But their toddler keeps running in and interrupting them. Their dog is barking at the mailman and their toilet's overflowing in the background.
Of course.
It's relatable chaos.
It is.
Amplified for comedic effect.
And within those seemingly mundane moments, we see glimpses of ourselves.
Right.
We see our own struggles to balance work and family, our own awkward social encounters, our own moments of sheer frustration when things just don't go according to plan.
But here's the thing, even in those moments of chaos, there's like a sense of joy, of playfulness, of finding humor in the absurdity of it all.
Right.
And that's what I hope the movie captures. That spirit of resilience, of finding laughter, even in the face of adversity.
I think that's what makes The Sims so enduringly popular.
Okay.
It's like a safe space to explore those challenges, to experiment with different outcomes, and to find a sense of control in a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable.
And maybe that's the message the movie needs to convey. That even in a simulated world, even when things go hilariously wrong, there's always something to learn.
Right.
Something to laugh about, something to celebrate.
So what kind of Sims story do you want to see on the big screen?
Honestly, I'm not sure I have a specific plot in mind.
Okay.
What I'm craving is a film that captures the feeling of playing The Sims.
Okay.
Like that sense of creative freedom, of playful exploration, of watching those little pixelated lives unfold in all their chaotic glory.
That's a great point. It's not necessarily about recreating specific storylines, but about evoking that same emotional response. That same sense of wonder and amusement that we get from playing the game.
And maybe that's the key to making this movie a success. Not taking itself too seriously. Embracing the inherent absurdity of the Sims universe. And allowing for those unexpected moments of humor and heart to shine through.
So to all the filmmakers out there who are working on this project, here's our advice. Don't be afraid to experiment. To break the mold, to push the boundaries of what a video game adaptation can be.
Embrace the chaos. Revel in the absurdity. And remember that the best Sims stories are often the ones that we least expect.
And to all of you listening, keep those imaginations running wild. Share your dream Sims movie plots, your favorite game memories, your most outlandish Simlish interpretation.
Because this conversation is far from over. The future of The Sims, both on screen and in our hearts, is waiting to be written.